How does the gills of a fish work? Isn't it do? How do the gills of a fish work? No?
What's the question?
Gills, I thought it had to do with kashas, but it has basically there's in the fish, and every living thing needs oxygen to live. So in water there's oxygen, but the fish, when it has something inside its mouth called gills, and that filters the oxygen out of the water, and it goes into the fish's blood system, which allows the fish to survive. And again, I could be a time of conversation, but it's nothing to do with the scales. It says that sometimes when there are no scales on the fish, you could look for it under the gills. Under the cheek over there, you might find some scales, and sometimes that'll be the only place to find the scales to make it kosher. I don't know if there was another meaning to the question or not, but that's what I was able to find. Regarding a non-Jewish song, is it worse to listen to Kol Isha of a Jew or a non-Jew? And is it worse to hear a Jewish man or a non-Jewish man singing a non-Jewish song? So, regarding the first part of the question, meaning, if it's a non-Jewish song, is it worse to hear Kol Isha of a Jewish woman or a non-Jewish woman? The pashtus, a non-Jewish woman is worse because Kol Isha is erva, and it's usher to the isur of arayis to a non-Jew is worse than the isur of arayis to a Jew. So the pashtus, I would say that that's worse. Regarding the hearing a non-Jewish song for a Jewish man or a non-Jewish man singing it, I don't see really a difference. I see svaras lakan or lakan. There's a svara to say that a non-Jewish person is klipas atmeis mamish, and you're connecting him, and that's even worse. There's another svara if a Jewish person is singing it, and a yid can take klipa and make it even worse than that. It says that avodah zarah of a yid is the worst type of avodah zarah. So svara lakan or lakan, I don't have an answer. I don't see exactly which one would be worse than the other one. What is mufshat, and should I be one? The word mufshat is coming from, we say every morning, mufshat is big as blood of. The word mufshat means being removed, removing your clothes, removing your levushim. The general term for mufshat is, it's usually part of a sentence, mufshat minyan elam hazeh. That a bacher has to be removed from minyan elam hazeh. And should I be one? Every bacher is meant to be one. There's a famous mimer or slash sicha of the Rebbe Rashab. It's called Kol HaYetzer L'Melchemes Beis David. It's a topic for many Fabrengens, and it's a topic for a bachim to know about. It's a quote of Chazal. Chazal tell us that the soldiers of David HaMelech, before they would go to war, they would have to write a get to their wives. Why? Because when they go to war, so there's two reasons. One reason is that they might be missing in action, and their wives will be agunas, and then they'll be stuck. We don't know what's going to be with them. So in order for the wives not to be agunas, give the wife a get now, and then when you come back from the war, you marry her again. But another explanation, a deeper explanation is that in order for a person to be invested in the war and fight it the best he can't have any distracting thoughts. When he knows he has a wife at home waiting for him, so that will cause him to not be invested in the war properly. So in order to be a successful soldier in the army of David HaMelech, you have to be completely dedicated with no strings attached. So that's called Kol HaYetzer L'Melchemes Beis David, Kaisav Get Krisus L'Ishtei. So the Rebbe Rashab said about the Bachar with Temchet Mimim, that a Bachar Temchet Mimim has to give a Get Krisus L'Ishtei. He has to completely divorce himself from Inyan Elam Hazeh. Have no shaykhs to anything worldly of this world, no shaykhs to anything of these Inyanim. To be completely Mufshad B'Yadam Hazeh. That was and that is the demand of the Rebbeim for every Bachar. And it's very hard for today's Bachrim especially. The Bachrim go up today very much involved in Elam Hazeh, but that is the ideal. That's the way it's supposed to be. So every Bachar is supposed to be as removed as possible. A Bachar should not know anything about politics, anything about worldly matters, about sports, anything about these things. Not talking about Klipas Atmeis, even Klipas Noiga. Anything from the world, a Bachar has to be as mufshad as possible, as much as he can, not to be involved in the world. Now, sometimes there's something called Yenikas HaChetzonim, where people take things the wrong way. So there was a famous chassidus. There was a tzaddik. His name was Avram Kalisker, times of the Alter Rebbe. That he took it when the whole Indian of they didn't have the term Musha then, but they had the term of Einid Muvadei. So he took that a step further, and he bedafke made his chassidim. He was a Talmud of the Bezitcha Maggid, but he had his own followers, and he made his followers do crazy things. Like in the summertime, they would wear very heavy fur coats. In the wintertime, they would go in the snow, and they would tumble in the snow. They would do very very crazy things. One of them one time went up in front of a Misnagdim Shashul and started cursing at the Misnagdim. So he did very, very wild, crazy things, and the Bezitcher Makkah got very upset about it. It caused a lot of problems, a lot of things. So it was part of being mufshot. So part of being mufshot, let's just be completely blown or completely out of this world, and that's it. So that's also wrong. So that sometimes a bacher wants to be mufshot, so a bacher decides he's going to be based on completely no ilam haza. I have two friends of mine that went to yeshiva, and they made a bet. Who's going to last longer without changing his linen? So I went there, I don't know, for 5-6 months. They didn't change their linen. So it was that wasn't beside being mufshat. They were just being crazy bachrim. But some bachrim want to be mufshat, and they want to do these crazy things. I don't take showers, and I'm not gonna change my socks, and I'm not gonna keep anything. I'm not gonna eat anything, whatever. That's not called being mufshat. It's being going crazy. Mufshat means you don't care about an yon elam has. You're not invested. You're not involved in it. You don't care about. That's what it is. You have to eat what you have to eat, but you don't go. You're not supposed to be. You have to do this kafya basically. Not give you. You got to give it to the mazah. So every bacher has to, in order to be a successful bacher to be a successful soldier in the David HaMelech's army, the Rebbe's army, then every bacher must be a mufshir as much as possible to be mufshir from Elam Hazah. I have to do it next time, maybe. Not, I have to prepare for it. I can't do it on the spot. Okay, this question. What is the problem with talking to girls? What's worse, talking to girls or shaving? So regarding what's worse, we already spoke about many times. There's different avedas. But regarding the problem talking to girls, I think this question comes up every year. In Shulchan Aruch, Siman Chaf Aleph, Sivav, Chelik Even Ha'izah. The Shulchan Aruch writes, Ein shayalim bishloim isha klau. Afilu ayidei shliach, afilu dei baila, asur lishloach la divrei shloimi. Avar mutar lisha lebaila eich shloima. That it's a isser to have any kind of friendly conversation with a isha, even through a shliach, even through a husband, to tell a husband to send regards to your wife in a friendly kind of way is also. You're allowed to ask a husband how his wife is doing, but you cannot talk a friendly conversation. So it's a very clear isser in Shulchan Aruch. So obviously the simple reason would be because that can lead to other things. So many bachrim complain and they say, well, I know myself and it's not going to lead to any bad things. So the answer to that is just like someone's going to say, I'll have chicken and milk, and I know that it's never going to lead to having a burger and milk, because I don't like meat, I only like chicken. So why can't I have chicken and mix it together with cheese? Everybody knows that chicken and milk is mutter midayraisa. Well, we all know that. It's only chacham made exzeda. You can have chicken and milk, it might lead you to end up having meat and milk. But I don't like meat and milk. It makes no difference what you like or not. Once it became usr, it's usr 100%. So this is an isser 100%, and sharing b'shloim isha klal, it's an isser completely. And so what about texting? It's the same thing. If you can't ask her husband, send a message to her husband, then sending through texting the same thing, email or any kind of social media, it's 100% asra pi Shulchan Aruch. There's no heter whatsoever. Any kind of friendly conversation. So Bachram asks. So once I go to the store and I can't ask the clerk a question. The answer is shloim isha. Any kind of sholim, a friendly conversation. So anything which is necessary, if you're doing a business and there's a businesswoman you have to talk to, then whatever is necessary you're allowed to. But anything more than that, it's usher. There's a famous story in the Gemara with Bruria, Eishes Rabbi Meir, that one time a Talmud, needed directions. So he asked her, what was the lashon he asked her? Eizo derech lelud. Which way do I go to Lud? So she yelled at him, why are you talking to a woman for so much? You should have just asked, Lud, what are you adding extra words for? The minimum we should do. So she was a tzaddikus, but she was saying that's the hadrach. So it's completely usur. Any extra word is usur. It's usur side because of the reasons that it could lead to. That even the bachim, I think that a big chachamim, the pel mamish v'chulu. But regardless, the isur just the same. And what's worth that or shaving? It's different isurim. Like you spoke about, the answer to that question I always say is what is worse, cutting off your arm or your leg? And maybe we should never go through either one of them.
What about like a guest by Shabbos day?
It's very in a friendly kind of way. It's forbidden. If it has to do with Yiddishkeit Torah mitzvahs teaching, then it's a different story. But otherwise, stam a friendly conversation is forbidden.
Then your condition are really high.
What if you do that? You're going to come to.
Then the Avacha shouldn't do mitzvah with a lady. Back and up. Huh? You're not supposed to be giving out Shabbat candles to girls. It's not a veda for Bach. Huh? Woman. Next questions. Are aliens real? Look around the room. 100%.
The answer is probably no.
The answer is, this question came up many times already, there's a letter of the Rebbe about it. There's a story in Tanakh with Sisra and Devaira and Barak and Ben Avinayim over there, where there was a Melchama with the Yidden against the Goyim, and over there the pasuk says, Ayru Meirois. Meirois should be cursed, because they didn't come out and help the Yidden. So who is this Meirois? So there are different Pirushim. One of the Pirushim that is brought down is that Meirois is the name of a planet or a star, and they're cursed for not coming and helping the Yidden. So in Mela, there is a concept, it could be a concept according to that pshat, that there are some creatures living in outer space, but the way they're saying now, Rabbi Reitzes says that in 2-3 years we'll be able to go visit Mars already, so I'll be able to check it out more, if there or not. But B'chalifin, it could be, it's shaykh that there is such a thing. Why didn't Mashiach come yet? It's not a joke. It's not a joke at all. It's a very heavy question, and there is no answer. The question that every bracha is supposed to ask himself this question every single day. Why didn't he come yet? The side of the side of the Klalis. There is no answer. No one should try to find an answer, because by any kind of answer is Kivyachal justifying the situation. And we're not looking to justify it. No, there's no good answer. Elamai, the Rebbe speaks about. The Rebbe says that the world is ready for Mashiach, and the few moments that are left are only opportunities for us to get more involved. And so we have an extra minute or extra day, extra year, whatever it may be, to chabarayim and make ourselves more worthy to when Mashiach comes to greet him. But it's not the pshat that now we're doing things kivyachol to make Mashiach that now he has to come. Mashiach has to come regardless. There's no explanation why he didn't come. But our avodah now is to do the best we can to chabarayim. It's like there's a test, and in the last minute you have one more thing. So you want to, the test is over, but you have an extra minute to chabarayim to write another answer. So like the test is over already.